I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary.
Hi, Jason. How are you? Congratulations on winning the 11 Second Club contest for October. And I just want to tell you that I really like what you did with this audio. It was super fun, the little storyline that you created for this. And I'm really looking forward to giving you some feedback. First of all, my name is Dana Bodway, and I've been animation mentor for about 17 years. And I've been working in the animation industry for 23 and a half years or so. Just to give you a little bit of background, I started out as a dancer and an actor. So I was really doing a lot of theater, and I did some film and television work as well. And then when I saw Toy Story, I knew that this was the best acting gig ever, being able to create performances for any character that existed. So with acting, you're very limited to, kind of what you look like. So especially when you're first starting out, it's you go to go see and auditions, and the first thing is like, is this person tall enough, short enough, right color hair? Like, they really just sort of do it by, what you look like alone until you make it big, I suppose. And then you can kind of pick and choose a lot more. But it was so limiting. So being able to do animation just seemed like such a great way to get my performance urges out there. And it has been a career choice that I have enjoyed for many years. I've worked on feature films, television, DVD films, commercials, games, and even some fine art installation work, which I was privileged to be able to go and see in a gallery in Manhattan, which is something I never expected I would be doing as an animator, seeing my work in an art gallery. So you never know where this path is going to take you. There's so many different and interesting things to work on as an animator. So let's get into your piece, and I'll play it through a couple of times and then give you my feedback.
I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary. I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary.
All right. So the first thing I want to say, well, I already mentioned that I really like the storyline that you created for this. I like the character design is lovely, very unique and personal style, which is great. It's great that you are creating your own expression for the design of everything. I really like the way the background is. It's simple, but it creates a nice composition. You've got lines that sort of draw you right through the main characters, into her facial area, which is really great compositionally because it really keeps you focused on her. The character in the foreground is just a shadow. It's very simple, but it works. And the background characters are just suggestions of people, which also works very well for kind of keeping everything in the back, and you get a sense of the environment that they're in without it needing a whole lot of detail. And it's the same with the next background as well. It forms around the characters very nicely. And it has the same nice, subtle suggestion while not overpowering anything in the foreground. The bit that I did not get right off the bat was the fact that it was the haircut issue. So I had to watch it several times before that became obvious to me. And I think that's just because the scissors are introduced a little bit late in the game. So not until that very last line when she pulls her hand up when she's saying that last line. So I suggest that maybe something that you could do would be to, when, have her, when she goes into this pose, have her bring the scissors up into camera, sort of nonchalantly. So as she's changing the pose, she's also just kind of bringing the hand up into screen. And so you can see the scissors, but she's not necessarily paying attention to them in that moment. She's having her sort of introspective moment where she's thinking about, what just happened. And the scissors are just brought into the scene, just as a subconscious, part of the pose change. And then when she, and then during this pause, right here where she says,
I told you you wouldn't like it.
So angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
You were so angry. Pause. So she brings it up when she changes poses. You're so angry. And then during that pause would be a great time for her to raise the scissors up slightly higher and actually change her eye direction and maybe a slight head move so that she is now looking at them. And it only has to be for a brief moment for it to draw the audience's attention to what she's looking at. So, you know how if you're standing in amongst a bunch of people and one person turns around and looks up, half of the people around them will do the same thing because it's like this curiosity of what is this person looking at. So that will happen as well in the scene if she brings her attention during that still moment of stillness. Is stillness in the audio. There's that sort of white space of silence there. And if during that silence you have that slight movement, it's going to stand out. The audience is going to notice it, and they're going to look down at the scissors as well. And then she can go into this line of dialogue where she says, "I did not," and bring the scissors further up into the shot.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary. I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
I did not.
So then when we cut to the next shot, it's going to make a lot more sense. We're going to know it has something to do with the scissors, and the audience is going to get the punchline much more easily. And as she's walking in, she's got the scissors in her hands, but you can't really see them from this angle. So I would even just change the angle of the way the scissors are so that the silhouette of them stands out better in this scene as well, in this second shot. And also the fact that she comes from completely off screen seems a little bit far away. So I think if she started off already in the scene somewhere on this edge of the screen, it would make more sense spatially because they seem to be closer together in the first shot. So the continuity of their positions doesn't seem to match up between shot one and shot two, because she ends up coming from so far away. So you can start her off in this pose, but to the side in this scene, and then begin the walkover from closer. And then also the other thing that's happening, if we already see her at the beginning of this shot, is we can see where her eye line is, which is right to the hair. And that is also going to help us to have our attention drawn to what the issue is.
It's a little scary.
The postures are great on the characters. You've got the hands on hips and the very sort of squared off, defiant, upset posture of the one character, and the way she's kind of just looking at her with the side eye. I love that. And the the timid posture of this character with the sort of arms in close and the way that she's kind of looking like she's trying to be very timid, or she's being very timid. She's trying to approach with caution is great.
Very.
And then I love the way that she does the little hair flick. It's quite funny. And it just puts the punchline on the end of this. I do think that this character could, at the end, before the scene cuts completely, she's looking sort of up. She sees the hair flick. I think it would be great for her to glance back at the other character again before the end, and, you know, maybe even kind of give an expression like, really? Like just a little head tilt and a one eyebrow raise kind of thing. Because now, to add insult to injury, she's come over and done that, you know, funny little hair flick thing. So I think for her to have a subtle reaction to that would add to the hilarity of the moment, but also just kind of fill in a little bit of space there with that character, because she's it'll kind of round out her thought process. So when a character is reacting to something, you get that subtext, right? So she's already got the expression of being upset, but then just to have that sense of her thinking, really, you know, like after you did this to me, now, you know, you're kind of making fun of it, really. So it's that one little sort of subtext word that you can have the character say without saying it.
I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
And I love the, you know, in the audio, you can hear that inhale at the beginning, and you did a really nice job of expressing that with the character. I
didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again.
And having her sort of have that thought moment of, I'm not quite sure what to say, you know? So there's some nice subtext in there as well. And the fact that she isn't looking at the other character, but she's averting her eyes, is really nice as well.
You were so angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary. I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary. I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
I did not.
And I think the lip sync looks really great too. You've got a really nice sense of adding the emotion into what the character is saying with the expression of the mouth. And the facial expression has
I did not.
a really nice, subtle asymmetry. And attention, right? You know, with the way that the teeth are clenched together, and the eyebrows are up. She's kind of alarmed. The eyes are open wide. They're not like super bug-eyed, but you have that, you know, it creates the sense of her being in that headspace of, oh my God, right? And I love that she also has something wrong with her own hair. What a nice little detail as well. So you kind of get that sense of her maybe having a little bit of an off the wall style, or either that, or she's just not that good at it, you know? And so the other character having to kind of deal with what she's done.
Angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
And I like this really subtle movement that this character has when she says her dialogue. You don't need a whole lot in there to fill that in. And the way that you've made the whole movement style more simplified you've really got that that feel is consistent throughout.
I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you wouldn't like it.
I did not. I was a little scared.
And the rhythm of the little head shake.
I did not.
You know, I did not. So there's that really nice squash and stretch that adds that little bit of intensity and energy to her expression with that dialogue. And the little head shake adds a really nice bit of staccato rhythm on top of everything else and intensifies that one moment. You also have a really nice way with the hand poses as well. So when we do finally get to see the hands, they have nice silhouettes. They're very expressive, and they read really well, and they're attractive. There's a nice feminine quality to them.
I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary.
And you did so much beautiful detail with the overlap in the clothing, in the hair, as she's moving, even though your movement style is a simple one, you've got those little details in there that are just helping to bring everything to life. And certainly if your second character did that last little look at the end that really, and she has a very subtle shift in her body movement to go along with the slight head movement. You could get a tiny bit of movement in with her clothing as well at the end, just to sort of fill that character out and bring her to life a little bit more with that one, her one reaction that we get to see at the end. And I love her facial design as well, and the sort of pout expression that she's got is really great. It's such a nice, again, asymmetrical design in the face that just gives a really good sense of her emotion in that moment. So let's see. I'm going to watch it one more time, but I think that might be everything.
I didn't think you were ever going to talk to me again. You were so angry.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
I did not. It was a little scary.
All right. So congratulations again. You did a really fantastic job. I really enjoyed it. Love to see more work from you. I think that this is a really great interpretation of the dialogue that you did, and you did a fantastic job. So definitely keep up the good work, and hopefully we will hear from you in the future. Congratulations for October 11 Second Club win, and have a really great week.